Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ehsan Ilahi and my registration number is FS17 BCS 107. My topic is cause of the decline of Muslims and rise of British. Today we will discuss major causes of the decline of Muslims and how the British rose and left Muslims apart. Introduction. By the opening of the 18th century, when Europe was ruled by strong monarchies and the European merchant communities were well on the lead to prosperity, the Muslim powers everywhere showed a rapid decline. The empire of the Muslims began to weaken rapidly after the death of the great emperor Alamgir I in 1707. The causes of the decline and disintegration of the empire is generally regarded as the weakness of the successors of Alamgir I, but really the loss of feeling of solidarity among the Muslims was one of the principal causes of the Muslim dissidence. Here are several causes of the downfall of Muslims which led to rise of British. First of all, no succession plan. First and major reason of the decline of Muslim rule in the Indian subcontinent was that there was no succession in Muslims. After the death of one king, his brother son fought with one another. At that time, Darwinian theory of the survival of fittest was suited to Indian kings, where only powerful has ascend to throne and weakened was killed or incarcerated. Second, geographical expansion of the empire. The second reason was the empire of Muslims was less. It stretches from present India, Pakistan and Afghanistan. It was near impossible to govern that vast area while sitting in one capital city, which ultimately created the feeling of sovereignty in small states, which led to unrest in small states. Number third, deterioration of morality. Most of the kings were fond of liquor and women. These two factors led the wave for decline of Mughal Empire. Abundance of wealth, luxurious life, and leisure made them reckless and incompetent to rule. Number fourth, lack of organized army, especially navy. Muslims were lacked the organized army after the death of Jahangir. The commanders of the army were involved in conspiracies in order to get the throne, whereas their main focus was the power, then to concentrate on preparation to face aggression. From the outside, Portuguese, French, and English entered through sea route for commercial purposes, where they captured coastal areas and built their own garrisons and formed strong organized force consist of locals as well as their own manpower. Number fifth, intellectual bankruptcy. As Muslim rulers indulge in immoral activities, their concentration to create a viable nation has diverted to leisure and luxurious life. Number six, corrupt administration. Ministers, courtiers accepted bribes which ultimately weakened the foundation of Muslim rule in India. Invasion of Nadir Ali Shah and Ahmad Ali Shah Abdali in 1738. Invasion of Nadir Ali Shah and Ahmad Ali Shah Abdali in 1738 in India aggrandized the situation for rulers. Destruction of Delhi loot, blunder of Nadir Shah has weakened the authority of rulers and the empire had become economically weak. Number 8. Rise of Sikhs and Marathas. During the days of Farrukhsiyar and Jahandar Shah, Banda Bahadur killed the governor of Sirhindi Wazir Khan and captured the area, whereas nationalism of Maratha also rose to the extent that their influence was to the Delhi. Number 9. Advent of the East India Company. Advent of the East India Company into Indian soil became the last straw into rule of Muslims. They came to India as the traders where they started their disruptive activities and finally became the rulers of subcontinent. Rise of British. British came into subcontinent as traders, but soon their activities metamorphosed into political activities. Owing the decline of Mughals, they started to capture territories in the subcontinent. The foundation of the British rule in the subcontinent was laid after the defeat of Nawab Siraj ud Dola at the Battle of Plassey in 1757. After the failed war of independence in 1857, the British became the rulers of the subcontinent. Conclusion. Mughals and with them Islamic rule in India could have lasted a little longer if Aurangzeb had continued the policies of his predecessors, or if his brother Dara Sheikh, who was extremely tolerant, total opposite of Aurangzeb, had come to the power instead. They could have learned from their allies in Ottoman Empire who treated their non-Muslim subjects fairly, at least up to mid-19th century, and because of his Ottomans were able to outlast the Mughal by almost 3 centuries.